Okay, I'm on Canvas under assignment 9, so let's do assignment 9. So click on the directions. Okay, it says in this assignment we will be using R to simulate a population of voters of size n, where P% are in support and Q% are against some issue. We want to take K samples of size S, so S is like your surveys. And you can think of like there's K surveys of size S being done. We're going to look at the frequency histogram of our sample means and the density histogram of our sample z-scores. For each sample, the sample mean is taken as a proportion. Okay, so pretty much we're going to let 1 equal support, 0 against. Okay, so let's do the steps here. Step 1, open new Google Doc and name it A9 guy here. Let's take the whole thing. So open a Google Doc up here. Google this. Okay. Click on a blank doc. Change the title. Put name here, so I'll say Professor McLaughlin. Okay, you'll put your name up there. Okay, so I've done step 1. What I'm going to do now is, just to make things easier, is just take all the directions and paste them into my Google Doc, and we'll just go through each step and get rid of it then. So we can close this now. Let's paste it here. So we've done step 1. Okay, paste our code template below into Google Docs. So here's the template. So open this. We'll look at the template now. Just let's paste it over into our Google Doc and close it. Okay. So paste it at the bottom. So there's a look at it in a second. So we've done step 2. We can close this now. So we've done step 2. Let's take that away. Step 3 now is open your Google Doc and set n equal to 180 million. I think that is a 18 million. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go find our n value in our code below. So right there. And you can't put any commas in the numbers, otherwise it will not work. So these are like this. Alright, that's our n. So then change also. Oh, where am I? Oh, so let me just take these things and paste them down there. I should have just did that at the beginning. So let's paste it above this guy here. Sorry, below. Sorry, above this guy here. So then we're going to change p to 0.35. So the 0.6 will be 0.35. Going to change the q then to be 0.65. That's the percent people are against the issue. Going to change the k to 1,000. And change the S to 40. So it means in each survey, yes, 40 is already 40. So change it to 40. So S is the survey size, and we're doing 1,000 surveys of size 40. Okay, so I've done step 3 now. I'll come back to the code now in a second to talk about it. So we've done step 3. Then we have to run the R code that we have down here. So what it's doing, this simulation is creating a population of size n. In our case, it's 18 million. And pretty much the population will be made up of 1s and 0s. So 1s are support, 0s are against. And we're then going to our population and taking samples. So we're taking samples of size 40, so like surveys of size 40, and we're doing that 1,000 times. Okay, so what I did here is in R to create the population, this part here is just creating a bunch of ones and zeros. So 35% will be ones, 65% will be zeros, and it will be a total of 18 million ones and zeros here. Then we defined our standard error, so it's a standard deviation divided by square root of sample size. Sample size here is survey size, which would be 40 in this case. So it looks similar actually to the quiz. And then you do the sample means. There's a for loop here, so it's a bit too advanced for this class, but you could actually incorporate that into your quiz if you wanted to. So you want to look at that and try and figure out what's, because it's actually computing the sample means and the sample z-scores in a loop here. But don't worry about that. And then at the end, it's doing our histograms. So histogram of the sample means and a histogram, density histogram of the sample z-scores, and it's putting our standard normal into our z-score histogram. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take this guy now, paste it into R, and run it. Okay, so copy, so run, open R now, so R command, there it is. So sign in. Okay, so then I get rid of this stuff here, paste it, and run it. So it's taking a while because it has to do quite a few things. You can see there's a sample sums there. So, okay, and your sample means, all those guys there, it's 1,000 of them. Then your sample z-score is 1,000 of them. Okay, and then you have your histograms. So here's the frequency histogram, and then the z-scores. So you see the z-score density histogram, we have the standard normal overlaid on it. So just paste the histograms into at the bottom of our Google Doc here. So put it down here. Okay, that's the first one, and then the second one. Let's go here. Okay, so we have to then run the simulation again. Let's see what step we're on here. So we paste the R code and run a script. So we've done that. Paste the histograms at the top of your Google Doc. Oh, at the top. Okay, I did it at the bottom. So let's put them at the top. All right, let's see. There's that one. And let's do the frequency one. Here, let's copy that one. Delegate. Oops. Okay, copy this. Okay, let's put it at the top, and then we'll get rid of these at the bottom. Let's put it second page here. Okay, let's get rid of them on the bottom now. Okay, so we've done step 4. So paste histogram at the top. Okay, we've done that. Done step 5. Now go back to run our script and run the code again. Okay, so let's go back. So every time you run the code, it's going to do another simulation, so it's going to change things around a bit here. So run it again, you'll see the histograms will look a bit different this time. Okay, so it did it. Let's go down to the bottom now. So let's take this one now, copy image. This is our second time, so second simulation. And below that, well, actually, let's put the, that's fine. And put our z-scores with our overlaid standard normal. So copy image. Put that here. Okay, so done step 6. Paste histograms, we've done step 7 also. So at the very top of your Google Doc, answer the question below. So here's a question, let's put that at the top. Then we'll submit our assignment after that. So at the top. We can get rid of the stuff here now, I guess. So let's answer this question. Okay, so what we'll write here is since each of our surveys contains 40 people, the central limit theorem predicts that the probability histogram of our z-scores should be close to the standard normal. So N01. N01. So looking at our two simulations, we can see that both of the z-score histograms are close to N01, which the central limit theorem CLT predicted. Okay, let's take a look. So let's just make sure that that's true. Just look at the histograms down here. So you can see the first one here. The standard normal is the blue one, and the z-score histogram you can see is pretty close to it. That's our first simulation, and we go on to the second one here. Second one is here, and again the z-scores look pretty close to the standard normal. So the central limit theorem predicts that it should be. Okay, so now the last step is just to submit your assignment through Canvas. So submit, so just share the shareable link, make sure anybody with link in view, and then just copy this, and you're done. So we're done.